What's up, people? In this video I want to go through how to write a killer personal statement, the do's and the don'ts, as well as provide you with examples of what I included in my personal statement when I applied to university. So just a quick intro, if you don't know who I am, my name's Sav and I'm a tech recruiter / career coach. So backtrack to 2013 when I applied to university, I actually wrote my personal statement on optometry. Crazy reflecting back because I actually spent a lot of time writing this personal statement, and you know what, I'm not even studying optometry. It's actually mad. At the end of the day, I decided that I didn't want to study optometry at university, so I actually chose chemistry instead. I actually went through clearing as well. I've got a full breakdown of why that was my decision in my apprenticeships versus universities video, so if you're interested about the story of why I didn't choose optometry and why I picked chemistry, then head over to that video. I'll put a link somewhere on the screen. A personal statement supports your application when applying to university, as it will show your enthusiasm to why you want to study that degree. It's a chance for you to articulate why you want to study that particular subject and what skills and experience have you got to show that you're passionate about that subject that you're choosing. So before you even go about writing your personal statement, you need to be well prepared. In order to be well prepared, you need to first understand which universities am I going to apply to and what is the course requirements to actually get into those universities. I want to make this video so easy for you to follow, so you can pause at any time and you can make notes as we go along. So I've actually broken this down into a few sections. The first few opening lines of your personal statement is really important. It sets the tone, and this is where you need to hook them so it encourages them to actually read on. So the best way to do this is not to start your personal statement with a cliche or a quote. So don't include any of these sentences. From a young age, for as long as I can remember, throughout my life I've always enjoyed. These sentences are just boring. In the opening paragraph, you need to articulate what degree you want to study, and it's not just about you waffling and say you're interested in this subject. You need to be specific. So these are the 3 questions that you need to be addressing. Why do you want to study your chosen subject? How did you find your interest in that chosen subject? And what do you find interesting about that chosen subject? So the inspiration from your opening statement could be from a life experience, a family and friend, something that you saw, something that you did. Maybe you know someone that's pursued a degree, maybe in medicine, and that person is your hero, and that's why you want to pursue that degree. So here's my intro of my personal statement applying to optometry and how I'm actually telling a story, as well as addressing those 3 questions. So here it is. The anatomy of humans is very complex and an intriguing subject in my opinion. I am specifically fascinated by the intricate structure of the human eye. Sight is a remarkable thing, and I believe the necessity of sight is often underappreciated. As someone who is constrained by poor eyesight, I appreciate the importance of correcting one's vision. Studying science and mathematics has cleared my vision in deciding that optometry is the path that I would like to pursue as a career. I'm not just saying I'm interested in optometry. I've actually got a little story going about how I find the human eye fascinating, and it's something that I want to learn a lot more at a degree level. So in my next paragraph, I actually make it quite personal and very specific to why I want to study optometry. So this is how it goes. My interest to study optometry was first sparked when my grandmother started to experience deterioration in her vision. I accompanied her to the optometrist and revealed she had developed cataracts in her eyes due to her poorly controlled diabetes. Surgery to correct the cataracts was advised, and she was also encouraged to improve her general health. This encounter intrigued me to find out how an underlying illness could contribute to the function and development of the eye. Therefore, following my grandmother's surgery, I was curious and undertook my GCSE work experience within the ophthalmology department at Solihull Hospital. I did that work experience. It was actually really cool. And I actually learned quite a lot about optometry. So here you need to be specific with something that inspired you to pursue that degree. So what I did was I went a step further and actually undertook work experience within this sector. If you've got any work experience that's related to the degree that you're going to pursue, then definitely add that in and be specific. What did you learn? Undertaking work experience really helps the reader understand why you want to take that interest further. Maybe you actually read a book that's relevant to the degree that you're going to study, and what actually interested you about reading that book. I'm going to say this again because I've probably said it 4 or 5 times, but you need to be specific. Exactly what sparked that interest in you actually wanting to study that degree. That's what they care about. That's what ultimately, what sparked that interest. This is what you need to get across to them. if I carry on reading what I put in my personal statement, I included specific terminology in this next paragraph, as it shows to them that I'm not messing around. I know exactly what I want to do and why I actually studied optometry, as well as just taking it a step further of like, yeah, I actually know my you know what I mean? Including specific terminology will definitely show them that you're interested in that degree. It'll just take it to the next level. So here's my next paragraph. Specifically, I observed patients taking the peripheral vision field test, which is used to find blind spots, and the optical coherence tomography OCT scan, which is used to obtain the cross section of the retina. I probably did see this, but I actually can't remember. I can't remember writing this bit, to be fair. But I was amazed at the optometrist's extra skills in dealing with various complicated procedures with the delicate eye. Moreover, I respected how they have to treat nervous or difficult patients with patience and in a calm manner. This experience was influential in reinforcing my desire to work as a professional, helping the public with their vision and their health. If you're applying to optometry and you're going to use any of this personal statement, please let me know in the comments down below. So you've got your intro down, and then you've highlighted your interest. So now we need to go about highlighting your relevant academic experience. When you're talking about your experience, you don't want to mention any specific grades, because firstly it's on your CV and it's on your application form for UCAS. So you don't need to say, oh,
I got a B in maths, I got an A in chemistry.
What you need to do is actually highlight specific modules within the subjects that you studied that's relevant to the degree that you're going for. Here you can even take it one step further and think outside the box. I ended up doing chemistry at university, as you probably know. I've probably said it 50 million times now. But when you're studying chemistry, it is very research heavy. Let's say, for example, I studied history as a subject in my A levels. Yeah, I didn't study history. I'm more mathematical, more analytical. So yeah, history, yeah, no way was I going to study history. Here's how I would link history and why history is actually relevant to a chemistry degree. A chemistry degree is very research heavy. Okay, when you're studying history, you'll be writing essays, you'll be critically analyzing sources, and there's tons of reading required for history. You can say that you developed all of these soft skills and that it's relevant to the degree that you're going to study, because you know chemistry is very research focused. Because what did I say at the beginning of the video? Yeah, you researched the course requirements and the subject itself and what's going to be required of you when you actually study that degree. So if you need help with transferable skills that you've gained from particular subjects, check out my IG and my TikTok. I've got a lot of digestible hints and tips there I've covered in a lot of videos, so yeah, that might help you. Okay, so you've highlighted your academic experience and why is that relevant to the degree that you're going to study. The next section is all about demonstrating soft skills that you've gained from either work experiences, from the subjects that you studied, or even extracurricular activities. These soft skills are important because they help perceive why you're a good candidate for the degree that you're about to study. So an example of these soft skills that you can demonstrate is, how do you motivate yourself? How do you cope with workloads? How do you manage your time? Where have you provided good communication skills? If you've got any leadership skills, mention that, or if you've dealt with conflict. So as I mentioned previously, you need to be specific on how you've demonstrated this, and you can even provide examples. So maybe you overcame a barrier where you've dealt with conflict, overcame a barrier which has actually enhanced your communication skills. Don't keep it simple and just list off, yep,
I work well under pressure, or I've got good teamworking skills.
Demonstrate where have you got these skills. And so let's say you are captain of a football team, so you can say, being captain of a football team, this has developed my teamworking skills, obviously leadership skill, killing two birds with one stone over there. If you relay this well, your personal statement will be strong AF. So after you demonstrate these soft skills, you need to end it with a killer closing paragraph. So you want to keep the ending of your personal statement short and concise. You don't want to drag out the conclusion unnecessarily. This will only hurt the strong impression that you worked so hard to create. So in your final paragraph, here's a few things that you can mention. How this degree is related to your career goals. Where do you see this degree taking you in the next 5 years? And what do you hope to obtain from this degree? As I mentioned, you can research all of this from course information, going to open days, having a look at prospects.ac, and you can type in the degree that you've want to study and actually look at the prospects of studying that degree. There is another technique that's actually recommended by UCAS, which is called the necklace approach. This is where you link the opening sentence to the end of the paragraph, because it really reinforces the idea of why you want to study that degree, because you're just making that continuous loop. You're linking it from the start to the end. Here's a quick recap. You need to have a strong intro to really hook the reader in and to really encourage them to carry on reading. The next paragraph should be highlighting your interest in the degree, and specifically what made you want to study that degree in particular. So how you actually came about finding that interest. Then you need to highlight your suitability by mentioning your academic experiences, as well as any additional soft skills to help you with that degree, and maybe actually your approach to learning. So how do you actually digest information? After you've been specific on the subjects and why is that relevant to the degree, then you want to mention any extracurricular activities or hobbies or work experiences that's relevant to the soft skills that you've gained that will help you do well. Finally, you want to end it with a killer closing statement. Okay, I actually forgot to mention that you need to make sure you're proofreading your work, and don't just read your work and that's it. I would just send it to close family and even cousins, because you'll get a different perspective, and of course your teacher is there to help you. So send it to your teacher. I think with mine I had like 4 or 5 rewrites and drafts that I kept sending to my teacher. I got my brother to check it a few times. Also highlight to those that are checking to see if there's any spelling mistakes or if the grammar's incorrect, because at the end of the day you don't want to send a poorly formatted personal statement or a personal statement that just doesn't make sense when you read it. This shows and highlights to them attention to detail. This sounds obvious, but make sure you just don't copy someone else's personal statement, or you just type in Google personal statement examples and then just copy it word for word. Each university has like a plagiarism checker, which will basically identify if you've copied your personal statement elsewhere, and if you have, then guess what, you're not going to get into that university. In your personal statement, you don't want to exaggerate, say that you did like a whole month work experience when you didn't, because they will actually bring this up if you pass and you get an interview with that university. So you don't want to exaggerate and mention any massive lies. Finally, you don't want to leave your personal statement to the last minute. Hopefully with this video you can get a draft sorted within a week. Take a break, come to it with a refreshed mind. If your statement seems rushed, then you might actually leave some important information out. Thank you for watching. I hope this video helps you write your first draft of your personal statement. If this is you and you're staring at a blank Word document and you just don't know how to start or what to do, then what I recommend is just re-watching this video, break your personal statement down into sections, and then just start mind mapping what interests you about the subject. If you've got any work experience, what did you learn in that work experience? Write down specific examples. Have a look at the degree that you're about to study and if there's any correlation to the subjects that you're studying. And don't forget, if you're worried about your intro, you don't have to do the intro straight away. Okay, flesh out all the other sections and you can always come back to the intro. This is exactly the same advice your university lecturers will give you when you're about to write your dissertation. When you write your dissertation, you're going to have an abstract right at the beginning. The abstract is something that you actually leave last because it ties into your conclusion. Oh wait, that's actually the necklace approach there as well. Yeah, that's actually pretty mad. You can get inspiration from your intro literally anywhere. Don't worry about writing that first. Okay, get all the other information. Just get it down there on a piece of paper, mind map it if you have to, and then that will just start helping you piece things together. And obviously then you'll get a first draft. When you get a first draft, send that to your teacher, get feedback. Feedback is crucial. Drop me a thumbs up if you found this video useful. If you're studying optometry, hopefully I've actually given you some inspiration on what you can put in your personal statement. Of course, hit that subscribe button, because if you're planning to go to university next year, I'm making a lot of content on actually smashing university and my experiences when I went to university. And then at the end of the day, when you graduate, I've got tons and tons of resources that I'll probably be making by the time you graduate, or will actually be made, that will provide you with interview advice, CV advice, and just general career tips. Good luck writing your personal statement, and peace. I'll see you in the next one. Rolling, everything's on the cut. Cool.